Yoo-hoo!
Ad Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Let me think. Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that you're not interested in this commission. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the Adventurers Guild?
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head?
From when she said, Ad Astra Abisask?
So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida?
Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was a happy one. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced round and round, and everyone looked really happy. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was throwing an endless amount of Yalda candies at the children.
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homiyanis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check on her.
Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsol's own withering. But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival.
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else. There are too many adventurers around here.
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers!
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate this?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work. We're in the dark as of now. Since after all, every person in Sumeru... I've already tried that, but all the key members of it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha.
Have you already caught the thing?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention. In any case, I probably can't... No way.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We should... Doing that would be ignoring the safety of...
That's a good point. Spoken... Nahida, you're super smart, so you...
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the...
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us...
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone.
Actually, I already have someone in mind.
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing back? We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated it. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean...
I've always liked observing all kinds of people. And Setaria, she was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts are...
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like...
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the... Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, but in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up, but she doesn't really support the academia. She still
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with... She's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. Right. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it. From my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots, and have... This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling
so should we...
No, I already have enough information on Setaria.
Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite weird.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the Lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love The god, one who is fated to cross your path, will appear on... Huh? So, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the...
I admit that the orientation of...
Is that so?
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harit and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorites?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by when I start talking with him. Listen carefully to the
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Kath?
Speaking of...
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret, and I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already...
I see. We wish... I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave...
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
I've never seen Harit...
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia.
Nahida, you've really...
It's my duty to protect Samari City.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about...
Ah, that's right! I've always been really After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and... But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research.
What an admirable spirit for...
Sure, but...
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time...
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well...
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official...
Three familiar faces.
What's the point of all the information we've collected?
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems. So I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are, although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her...
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take... Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Well, King Deshret is long gone. And Sataria is also too smart. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers, she would... But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to...
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our made-up will of King Deshret. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get...
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed...
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never...
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to
if it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But
yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll...
Then let's...
Here she comes. Satori!
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust...
Paimon's starting... Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find out...
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me is a very different... are you...
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking...
Okay, then. You just seemed a little distracted for... Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Hard.
So, which fortune...
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work?
I hear you. No problem at all. The god... The gods are asking, Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone... home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, King Deshret.
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such demand of me. Even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshret still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran up.
Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand.
All I know are some abstract Harabatot theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly still trying to make sense of everything. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Sataria.
She's at Akeem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away!
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in—
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, faith in King Deshret is taken. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those—
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of— I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you—
Akeem, you don't mean—
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? Aren't you the strange one?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain
Come on! Sataria's already started—
So, she's shot. Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing—
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's—
Jishan, don't tell me that you've converted to King Deshret as well!
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of— In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side—
Please, please stop!
still trying to run from her problem.
She can no longer justify everything.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the
This is the most important part.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Macho. The situation in the city.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy?
King Deshret! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria.
You...
King Deshret is immortal, and all who defy him will one... You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of King Deshret, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of King Deshret? Or are you the—
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of—
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this. Please tell me, what can I do?
How much do you—
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zeru's festival, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored. Let me see. Let's use
the Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I try.
So,
that'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring—
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again. That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out if something were to happen. My existence may be the only trump card. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my conscious.
Yep. Exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make off. What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night.
No, I think he's right. It really is a lot quieter. There'll be fewer people on the streets.
There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards. What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is the Hida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer... But what are the Fatui after this time? Yeah, things... Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he... Even though he turned it down at the time, there's no time to lose.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you, all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru.
The outcast? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you.
You're up!
Following order, new punching bag.
Strike a pose!
That's close enough. Need.
Ooh! It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements!
Need more.
Everyone hold hands!
You want this one.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite Yeah. Looks like we'll have to keep our guards up. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew it. Going up against smart people is tough. Hey!
Shower me with praise!
Everyone hold hands!
Strike a pose!
And shroud.
Let's change tactics. Find anything you like?
honest, I'm not doing too well. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule.
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to tell—
Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the—
He left? What? Isn't Tainari always saying—
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. To leave in such a hurry? Master Tainari originally studied in the Immorta Darshan of the Academia. And part of I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting
a research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari— Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI.
Don't worry. I'm fine.
Got it. Will do. You're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey, this was supposed to be a touching reunion.
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up and I was facing the doctor by myself. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of sky.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or anything.
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell—
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just—
What a relief. The doctor sure pulled—
I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our— Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time until he captures my consciousness inside the
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the Academia, so it's possible— It feels like he's— Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatui.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find another way to attack this problem.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party Steve?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is...
Okay, let's just hope...
Have you considered the possibility that...
He's tunnel visioning again.
Be careful not to touch the plants here.
Surely he's not a bad guy, is he?
Traveler?
It's Hypatia!
What a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still...
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come...
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Wait, no.
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the divine...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at long. When my consciousness made contact with the gods. What a supreme and unparalleled experience.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to...
Hold on. I brought some spirit-born ale with me.
We're using that incense?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish...
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about, but how is he connected to the divine conscience?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Alas, shit. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Puripurna life, but rather...
Ah! You! Why are you so mean to me? Why is everyone hiding from me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait. Have I already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right!
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait,
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an... After that, Kainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean you're conscious? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told... The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with... But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Oh no! Nahida, was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still... Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that... Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But she isn't with us.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana, correct? Does this mean that this Nahida you're...
Your guess is correct, but the situation...
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the...
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question.
That. While I was indeed invited to join that all I know is that the project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahita's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god who is still in the process of being born.
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of...
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, if I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the doctor and the balladeer. We have 2 Fatui harbingers. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god and restoring Irminsul?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so...
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Ribat. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better. They finally made it to Caravan. So, oh wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Hatham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the... Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were...
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of person. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd... Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia?
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't...
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must... Which brings me back to you. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you. And upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you... To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of...
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. So considering that, it isn't... But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine... No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of...
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources.
It's always better to travel with...
I think this should be everything. Right. I also need to bring some seeds back.
everything! Everyone hold hands!
Oh, brilliant!
That's close enough.
Happy to oblige.
Hey!
One with the forest.
This may hurt a little.
Where do you think you're?
Here! I see everything!
I'll be back.
Can't see? Keep up.
Shower me with praise!
On that subject. The hunter becomes the hunted.
Keep up. Shroud!
Positions!
Whoa, this landscape is really something else.
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's round?
Oh, Haytham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because...
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would...
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist.
Seemed to me more like your own personal... Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare...
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Haytham, to the point of... If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend...
Has Haytham done something wrong?
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Take it out. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra.
Wait, the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are... As far as I'm aware,
The other Matra have been speculating. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of...
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal.
You two? Ugh! What should we do?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here, otherwise
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to... Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality, but how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe... It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you...
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to...
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this...
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks such hard...
All right, stop yelling.
Well, this is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until this... Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru village.
Our savior is... Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, as a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, and now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose So please, have an honest and if anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time.
Oh, on second thought...
And that goes for you too, Miss D. Do I make myself clear?
All right,
That's what I like to hear.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. And
wait, that was you trying to be...
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been... Rather, I've chosen to...
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the..."
So they...
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can... I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot... Well, Sino, if that's...
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between... The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler.
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve...
Yes. I was indeed...
I'll hate them!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage...
The most enticing...
Unfortunately, those academics don't... Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge indeed exists. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting so it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the traveler by chance, I had no... You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's what... I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best... After all, curiosity...
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and... Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see. And now you, Dia. I believe it's...
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been... My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently... I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from...
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely...
That's more like it. I missed...
Whoa! What was that?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside.
Creatures? In the sandstorm?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive...
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The wind's died down. That means Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright?
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. Alright, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
Curiosity deserves a reward.
So close, so close! Stay... Whew, that was a tough fight! Victory is almost ours! Wow, Paimon's stomach is rumbling already! So close, so close! Stay cool! What is it? What is it? Is it another Paimon? Whew. Candace, you're still fighting? You've been up—
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost—
Here comes—
Leave this round to us.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane, and
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
I see everything.
One with the forest.
Yoo-hoo! Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? Don't worry about me. The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
what we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I am the chief of Aru Village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not—
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have been— Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these
Another of— So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul.
Everyone in Aru Village needs— speaking of which—
Village Keeper?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. The Academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the dead.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers, but no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for—
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt in it?
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will—
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of—
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, but, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Did I remember to lock my door? Ah, well, that shouldn't be a problem. Nothing bad will happen in the village as long as Candace is around.
Thank goodness the transport fees didn't go up by too much.
Grow!
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that the Academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him. The then chief of the village, suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright. After that, the people of Aru village treated them.
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of them...
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then!
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone. So, what do you make of the story? Really?
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord...
No, it's not so much that I don't. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current... The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never... In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's come...
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell.
Good! Then you should...
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think. Our Archon has been among...
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good... But easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you...
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are.
Grandpa is just... I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you...
So you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts.
Oh, of course not. It's all a bunch of nonsense.
I'm here.
You called?
Useless!
is super...
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something.
Huh?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, Isak's parents were both Eremite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding... Unfortunately, later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar... However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently... The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world. Almost as Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace, and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really...
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. It's also my reason for fighting.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate God.
Huh? What did...
No, nothing. As long as he's...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on...
Hey, Isak! Oh, it's you! We've cleared everything up! Let's go find... Really? Yeah!
Alright.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra. Ad Astra. Ad Astra.
Hello, I am Baizhu, a practitioner of medicine at Boo Boo Pharmacy. So, are you experiencing any discomfort? If so, where? And how many days have the symptoms persisted? You don't require medical attention? Oh, so you came to see me. Then I'm sorry. I'm afraid I must ask you to wait. I'd like to see the other patients first before discussing things any further.